Would it not be amazing if there's an AI that can cut all the fluff and all the breaks and everything where you don't talk, all the silence out of your video? That is possible with DaVinci Resolve. Even here on the iPad, we have a feature that is called Ripple, Delete, Silence. That's an AI that will do exactly that. So you have to come here into the iPad version, and this only works in the edit page. If you see here, I have all of the pages open. It is possible. You don't need the studio version for opening all of the other pages. I have a video here on my channel where I show you how you can open the pages, but simplified. You come up here to DaVinci Resolve, you have keyboard customizations, and you can give those pages a shortcut and then just open them with the shortcut. And then when you have a clip, like a podcast, for example, or a long Zoom meeting or something, you have to click and select the clip and then come up here to the new menu bar. Very important, you only see the menu bar if you have your settings here under multitasking and gestures by windowed apps. So if you actually can make Windows apps, then it works. If you have full screen, then you don't see the menu bar. So if we come back here to DaVinci Resolve, I can just hover with my mouse or with my finger, I can swipe down, then I see the menu bar and I come to clip. And important, you have to select the clip that you want to do this operation. Then we come here to audio operations, ripple, delete, silence. So now immediately a new window pops up and we already see some of the lines that it would cut out. So the red lines that we see here is what, with the settings that we have currently, it will cut out. And what you can change is, you can number one, change the threshold. So that means he tries to detect everything that is below minus 25 decibels, then that means it's dead space for him. If you don't want that, or you can either bring it more down, right? So only things under minus 66. So in this video, for example, there's a lot of noise going on that is louder than minus 66. So the only true minus 66 is like here at the beginning. Or you can also increase this, of course, if that matches your video, like let's say everything under minus 10, which makes no sense, by the way, but then there is more cuts. But be careful with this. If you have it like this, minus 10, that could mean that it also cuts away things that you actually talk. So I would leave it around minus 24, maybe go to minus 30 to be on the safe side. We will test this now with minus 24. Then the next two settings is basically how much more dead space is after and before, how many frames. This is all in frames. So if there's enough space, you maybe want that there is like, let's say, here, I'll give you an example. If I talk and then I make a break and then I have another break, right? If I would cut this, what I just talked to you, and I keep this like 0, it will cut as much away as it can. So the words become very fast. It's like talking, 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 talking. Maybe you don't want that. That's when you change the settings here. So the prehead before the cut, let's say 2 frames, and 2 frames after, or 3 frames, let's say 3, 3. Then it only cuts away if he has enough frames to keep a little bit of gap. So that means now we reduced all of that. Before, he found a lot of cuts that were basically only very short cuts. Like a podcast, for example, you don't always have to cut the breaks. Sometimes the breaks and the empty space is important. So play around with this, how it works for your project. And then the last one is, for example, minimum strip that he tries to cut out. If something is less than 24 frames, basically 1 second in my timeline, because my timeline is 24 frames, that means it will not cut it out. If it's only half a second, it will keep it in. So you can change that one here as well. And then the last one, you can actually, with all the cuts that he does, you can add in effect crossfade for the audio to all of the cuts that he finds. And then we can say remove. And now it cut the whole entire timeline for me. Imagine you have a podcast that goes 3 hours and you need like half an hour or an hour just to cut the dead space. You just, with one click, saved an hour of work with that feature. I hope you love that feature. Let me know in the comments what you think about that feature. And if you want to learn more, I have a masterclass for you where I teach you everything from beginner to pro. So check out the masterclass. And by the way, if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, dingle dingle the bam bang gong, and we see us in the next video. I'm Daniel. Bye.